I need your help. But then again, what's new? Because I feel like I've been asking that a lot lately. Hello, my name is Myra. Welcome to another video. For today's video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the book series. I grew up with Spanish and English, so my words sometimes get tripped out. But basically, I wanted to talk about some of the book series that I started this year that I have fallen behind in. So this is not going to include any book series that I started where like the next book isn't out yet. This is just gonna be book series where it's like there's multiple books already out and I'm the one that's behind. It's a cloudy day here in California, which is why I'm wearing my leather jacket. I'm taking advantage of just like the last fall vibes that we have, because here in California, once it gets hot, like it's gonna be hot for a long time. Like I'm talking December. The vibes made me just kind of think, and I wanted to go ahead and update my book series tracker from Little Inklings Design. It's the Always Fully Booked planner. I've talked about it before, but when I was looking through it and making sure that everything was where it's supposed to be, I realized just how many book series I'm like in the middle of that I haven't continued. So I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about the ones that I've started just this year that I haven't continued. And if you guys have read any of these, if you can tell me like you need to continue with this one, that would probably help me, because now that I saw that, I'm like, no, I don't like this. I need to like catch up because now I feel behind. So with all that said, the first one that I have on here, and it's literally the first series that I started with this year, is Sarah J Maas's Throne of Glass series. I feel like I was doing really good and then something happened and I just got behind. So if you don't know, her Throne of Glass series is 8 books. I have read 5 of them, so I'm not horribly behind. But basically, I just have the last 3 books. Now, the very last book you can read by itself, but the 2 right before that last book, you have to read them together. I mean, you don't have to, but a lot of people say like read them together because they happen at the same time, but in different continents, and you kind of get, I guess, a fuller picture. So I decided to do that. However, those books are thick. Like, these are some thick books. So as much as, yes, I'm enjoying this series, I haven't continued because there's other books that are out, there's other books that I want to read, and I'm just like, I'm not as committed to this series like I was with ACOTAR, because with ACOTAR, it was just that series and I. Like nothing else existed, no other books existed, it was just me, the ACOTAR series, and no one else. So this one is not quite like that for me, which is why I'm behind. I was hoping I would finish them this month. Maybe not finish them, but at least do the tandem read. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. We'll see. The next one that I have on here is the Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling. If you don't know, this is actually a motorcycle club series. I went ahead and read Lessons in Corruption and I actually really liked it. This was a reverse age gap. So she, aka the heroine, was older than the hero in the book. And I really liked it. The hero was really mature. Like it wasn't like a very obvious age difference, if that makes sense. But there is, I want to say 5 or 6 more books in her series, and I started the second book with this, which is Zeus Gaio. He's like the president of the motorcycle club, and I didn't continue it, but I do want to. I really want to read these books. I will hopefully be meeting Gianna Darling later on this year, so I want to read her motorcycle series. I feel like I have no excuse. They're all on Kindle, so it's like they're right there, but I haven't gotten around to it. So if you've read it, let me know. I know I've heard nothing but great things about it, and I really do love Gianna Darling's writing. But anyway, that's the other one. And then next I have the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh. I technically just started the series. Like I literally read book 1 and 2 in April, and I started book 3, but I have not continued it. But she does have 5 books in total, because the 5th book, which is I believe the last book, just came out last month in April. So I am behind, I guess, because the last book is already out. But I did start the 3rd book. I just kind of pressed the pause button because I had 2 arcs that I had to, not had to, but wanted to read. If you don't know what Boys of Tommen is, it is a sports romance, you can say, because the boys do play rugby. The first 2 books, Finding and Keeping 13, follow Shannon and Johnny. Johnny is the boy that I would have wanted to date in high school. If he and I would have dated, we would be married with like 10 children right now. So that's that book. And then the third and fourth book are Shannon's brother Joey's book. So those two books are for him. And then the last book in the series, which is book 5, is Gibbsy, which is Johnny's best friend. So he also plays rugby. And it's very, well, it's kind of light on the sports. Like, it's not really like super crazy sporty. And they are in high school, but it's 2005. So that was like before social media, before all of that. There's like that angst of like not seeing that person and not having quick access to people. Like, you actually really had to like suffer and wait until the next day to see them. I don't know, I really liked it, really enjoyed it, but I have not continued with the third book. The next one here on my list is Filthy Rich Vampires by Geneva Lee. This one, I think she's been re-releasing her books because I feel like out of nowhere now I've been seeing them at like Target and stuff, but all her books are already out. She has 4 books in this series. I read book 1 and 2, haven't continued in 3 and 4 simply because 1 and 2 I had it through audio from the Libby app, which is from my local library, and they didn't have the 3rd and 4th one. I think the audios aren't out yet, and I think that's why. I do think the books are on Kindle Unlimited though, but I haven't continued with it. Obviously, as the title suggests, this is about vampires, but it does follow a couple. At least the first 2 books did. I'm pretty sure the 3rd and 4th book are going to be the same, following that same couple, but it is a human and a vampire, and it's not Twilight. This is definitely more like modern times, and he is a vampire, but he's kind of vampire royalty, and she's a human, and his mom does not really approve of her because she's like, she's just a human. Like, you could go be with a witch or go, you know, actually I think they have to be with witches. Yeah. And why are you gonna choose this like human who literally brings nothing to us? But there's a lot that happens actually. So, and it is kind of funny. Like, there's some interesting and funny things that happen, but I haven't continued with that one either. This one is kind of interesting because it's the Part of Your World series by Abby Jimenez. I actually read the 2nd and 3rd book, which is Just for the Summer. I actually just read that this month. And then the 2nd book was Yours Truly. But I haven't read Part of Your World, which is book 1. And I didn't realize when I picked up Yours Truly that was part of the same series. And then now that I read Just for the Summer, there's a connection with these books. And I was like, oh, but also I don't get it because I haven't read all 3 books. And then, yeah, that's when I realized I accidentally skipped the first book. Yeah, but I have heard mixed things, so I don't know. I'm like, is it really crucial for me to read the first book like at this point because I read the 2nd and 3rd book? Like, is it fine? Let me know if you read it. Let me know. And then next I have Avalon Bay by Elle Kennedy. So I read the first book, which is Good Girl Complex. To be honest, this was like a 3.5 star. It's your typical, well, I guess not typical, but in this one it's a revenge dating story, but the girl's unaware that this is revenge. Like, he is trying to get revenge on her boyfriend by having her fall for him and then break up with the guy, which he is a douchebag in his defense, and then he's just gonna dump her and walk away and be happy that the guy got dumped. It was a decent read. Like, it was on the Libby app, I listened to it, it was decent, but I don't know if it's like enough to make me want to continue with the series. But I did see that there are 2 other books that are out, so let me know. Next I have here the Morally Grey series by J.T. Geisinger. These are like mafia billionaire-ish books. So I read the first one, and it's definitely, like the title suggests, like these are like questionable men. Like, are they a little bit too obsessed where it's like not really healthy? Probably. Do they have certain controlling tendencies that are not okay? Yes. But it was a good series. So, I mean, it's a good series because actually it's still going on. But the 2nd book already came out like a long time ago. I haven't read it. And then the 3rd book is about to come out. So, I need to get on that like stat. But yeah, that's a mafia series that is pending for me. As you guys can tell, there's a lot of catching up that I need to do. Then next I have Shifting Fate series by Tessa Halley. Now this one has like a book that's a 0.5, so it's like a prequel, and there's book 1, 2, and 3, which are already all out. This is a wolf shifter romance. So in this one, the heroine is adopted when she's a baby, and she has this sister, and it's just them two with her parents. But one day they get into a car accident and her sister dies. And the sister was the biological daughter of her adoptive parents, and basically once she passes away, like things start to really change in their home. The dad starts spending a lot of time at work, and he's not really coming over and like paying attention to her. Her mom is severely depressed and grieving, and basically that's leading her to like neglect her daughter and also treat her daughter really bad, and pretty much blame the death on her. And so she is going to school, she's in this new town, and she ends up meeting this boy who is like, hey, you know, if you ever want to come, like I live in like a small community, like you can come and like hang out with us, whatever. And things obviously go down, and she ends up finding out that they are wolf shifters. So this is a wolf shifter romance. I did read the first book. I haven't read the second and third book or the prequel, so have some catching up to do. It's kind of the theme here, but yeah. This next one is a duology. I don't think there's any more books, but if I'm wrong, please let me know. It's the Layers of Enchantment series by Rebecca Ross. Read Divine Rivals, loved it, actually. Completely loved it, enjoyed it, etc. Started the second book, and then I have no idea what happened, but I got distracted with some other book that came out. I don't know what it is. Like if I go back and see what I read that month, I'll figure out what it is that stopped me from reading that book. I almost want to say it might have been Throne of Glass, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure like what it is that like pulled me and yanked me out, and then I haven't gone back to it. But that's another one. Lastly here I have Ghosted by Sarah Reddy. So Ghosted is a very interesting series. Like I think all 3 books are different. So her third book actually is not out quite yet. It's about to be out. I read the second book through getting an ARC, and I really enjoyed it. Picture Freaky Friday, except instead of it being mother-daughter, it's you and the guy that you had a one-night stand with. Yeah. Not only that, but he's also your boss, which is why you didn't pursue the romantic relationship. And now that you switched bodies, you need to be spending time with each other, and it's right before a holiday, so you need to spend time with their families, and also at the same time try to figure out a way to switch back. Yeah, it was messy, and it was so fun. Can't wait to read the rest of them. I lied, that was not the last one. I have Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. Her books, it's 19 books. Okay, now those are quick reads, quick listens. I've actually been listening to the audiobooks, and I've talked about the Ice Planet Barbarian series, so I'm not going to talk about it, but it's basically aliens and humans. Okay, don't knock it till you try it. But I'm 8 books in. There's 19 books to the series, so I'll still continue reading it throughout the year. But this one, it's not that I'm like behind. I actually read these like in between really heavy books, or if it's like a series that I just finished or whatever. I just feel like I need something to like press that reset button. That's when I read her books. So yeah, as you guys can tell, I need a lot of help. If you've read any of these, let me know which ones should be a priority, which ones I should be reading like now, so that I can continue, finish it, color it all in, and be happy that I don't feel behind. So let me know. That would be a great help for me, especially because there's so many books and so little time. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you have a fantastic day or night or evening, wherever it is that you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.